The Google Pixel C tablet. So before I get into any details on this tablet itself, I just want to go a little bit into where the Pixel line comes from. The Pixel line had previously been used for two Chromebooks, the Pixel Chromebook 1, and then they have the second generation of that tablet. They were priced at usually around $1,200 to $1,300, which for a Chromebook is absolutely insane, but they were really directed towards developers and really high-level users to use those Chromebooks, not day-to-day Chromebook directed users. They really came out with a lot of specs and features in them that weren't even used in the systems when they came out. For example, they had a lot of different gyros and sensors in the laptops that weren't even touched when they first came out, but as software updates came out, those laptops were able to advance in the world and have future proofing built into them. And the Pixel C is no different in that line. The line of the 4 microphones at the top is just phenomenal for picking up voice. When this tablet first came out, it actually did not have always listening OK Google, which is a really nice feature, and it was added to it now. Same with I'll talk about the screen ratio later, is going to be built for the next version of Android to support the multi-window and still look very nice while doing it. This is really nice. It really gives a longer life to these devices that they would have had originally if they were only built for the time that they were designed in. So as for the outside device, we have the 3.5mm headphone port, nothing on the bottom of the device. On the left-hand side of the device, we have the USB Type-C, stereo speaker, and the volume rocker. On the top of the device, we just have the power button and the lineup of 4 microphones across the top, which are absolutely phenomenal for hearing your voice across the room for OK Google commands or any other voice command. We have the 5 megapixel camera on the top middle. We have the LED array for allowing battery notifications to come through, 8 megapixel camera, and we do also have the proximity light sensor in the front as well. So I had mentioned earlier this notification LED array at the top. This array, if you have the device open and on, stays on, a little rainbow all the time. If you have your tablet just sitting on the table and the notification, it will light up. However, if it is off, at any time you can go over and just knock on the device, and it'll actually light up depending on how much the battery is. 100% will be all green. Anything in between there will show the yellow and the percentage-wise of the bar. And if you get really low, it will turn red as well, which I personally find very useful. It's a very nice premium feature to a premium tablet. As for actual specs on this device, we have a 10.2-inch LCD screen, measures in at 308 pixels per inch, which for a tablet is pretty good. It's running the NVIDIA Tegra X1 processor, which is phenomenal for gameplay like I showed earlier. We also have 3 gigabytes of RAM. I really would have liked to seen 4, especially in a device this premium and powerful. A lot of the smartphones today already have 4 built in. So another interesting thing about this tablet is actually the screen ratio on this device. It's the square root of 2, which might not mean much, but what it does mean is for multi-window, which this doesn't currently support, but in Android N, Nougat will support double window, which what makes square root of 2 so important is that when the screen's actually split in 2 down the middle, you're going to get a perfect same screen ratio as you originally started with on each top and bottom. Same if you do 4 screens, each one's going to have the same ratio screen as your original screen, which makes this very useful for multitasking because on a smartphone, when you have multitasking, multi-windows open, you have 2 screens that are way too tiny that you can't actually type in. You can't have a proportional keyboard or window or any form of interaction on those than you would on a normal phone-sized screen. As far as gameplay goes, this tablet is phenomenal. I've put Riptide GP2 in full power, ultra-high graphics, and water rendering as well as all gameplay looks phenomenal on it. I see no frames dropped at all on it, and it is just beautiful for all gameplay. My only complaint, though, is this tablet does get quite hot. In heavy gameplay, graphics tests, or even just setting up the device itself, the top left-hand corner gets quite toasty behind here. As you can see, it looks phenomenal in this tablet. With the stereo speakers, it also sounds great during heavy gameplay. As far as camera quality goes, it's gonna get you through for video chatting and hangouts. By no means something I would ever use day to day to actually take photos. Even at 8 megapixels, it seems really, really low quality. It also has a really hard time staying focused. You can see just holding it here, it's constantly going in and out of focus. And even tapping to get to focus, it rarely actually holds for more than a couple seconds. I don't see this back camera as being very useful at all for you. If anything, again, just for video calls, and that'd be about it. So if you're looking at the Pixel C as a potential tablet for you, I highly recommend the Google keyboard. That is another $149 on top of it, but it is definitely worth it. The keyboard case is great for protecting the screen when transporting the device itself, as well as actually working as a phenomenal keyboard. The hinge on this thing is amazing. I can hold the keyboard by this light little hinge, and it does not shake off the tablet itself. And if you don't feel like using the keyboard, it does stow away behind the tablet as well very easily, and does not add much thickness at all to the device or weight altogether. So although I see the keyboard as a necessity for this tablet in order to complete its setup, I do find it a little nerve-wracking in between transitions on this tablet. I've almost dropped it a couple times just because I'm sliding them apart, and I almost dropped the tablet. After they're connected, I'm perfectly confident that this is not going to come apart. However, breaking them apart, I've almost dropped each and or the keyboard or the tablet on its own multiple times. Luckily, nothing yet. I have seen it to be quite durable, however, I don't feel like personally testing that out. So currently the Pixel C will run you about $499 for the 32GB model or $599 for the 64GB model. Plus the keyboard, which I highly recommend, is $149 on top of that as well. Not by any means a cheap device, however, I do find it very useful if you'd be on the go typing a lot. It's a little smaller than a laptop, than some of the smaller laptops in the market right now. But it's definitely a very useful, productive device. So thank you for watching my Pixel C review. If you enjoyed it, please rate, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions on it, I will try my best to answer any and all comments. Have a great day.